All right, what is up, YouTube? So I'm back again. I'm going to go ahead and show you some quick profits that I did make so far betting on Wynn Resorts. So let's go ahead and check that out. So as you see right here, we got Wynn Resorts right here added to the portfolio. I bought about 400 shares. We can see exactly what price I bought that around. Let's see. Around about $166. Now the stock is back at 172. We started to see a small boost in the stock. As you see, it ran up about 4%. I bought it in today's session, and I know you think Wynn Resorts must have been up all day, but as you see the stock start to decline and start to basically just run back up. So this stock will probably be at $200 sometime soon, but really all the stock is down because of Steve Wynn and the sexual harassment of whatever is hovering over the company. That's the only problem. But at the same time, they talked about the reservations for this resort hotel is that they're completely booked. So basically what the story is that anytime you're able to get a discount on growth stocks, you want to be able to get into that or jump into that immediately. Because let's go ahead and check out the 1-year chart, because the stock is completely it's just been running up, pretty much doubling shareholders' money since '92. And I know Steve Wynn bought shares back when the stock was about $60. And even if you go back before that, the stock was around $200 and it took a huge dip. And now we're back approaching $200 once again. So, this stock was it will easily go back up to $200, but what made the stock fall down is because of the Steve Wynn situation, what happened with the allegations and sexual harassment. But that's the only problem with the stock. It scared a lot of people out of their shares, so now people are looking for discounts, and this is a discount that I was able to get into. And now basically we're just riding a wave now. Now the portfolio is at 208. At first we're around at 204, 203 level, but now we're at 208. We're about $2,100 up on the Steve Wynn position, or the Wynn Resorts position, so to say. This is where we have majority of our money in right now. Sometimes so see more money with. I know position. You guys momentum, we're starting to see buyers step back up into that. And when buyers are stepping back in, it was just, Wynn Resorts was just selling off just because of the allegations with Steve Wynn and different things like that. But when we look at it from fundamental basis on, how do we judge the company rather than how we judge the CEO, Wynn Resorts is still a solid company that still has growth. It's still a growth company. And Newell Brands is, I just bought that just because it's oversold and looks like it's going to bounce back up due to the technicals. We might see this thing up to 26, 27 sometime soon, and it might fall right back down. So this might be just a quick trade for us. But yeah, that's exactly the reason why we got some of our money in Newell Brands and why we have some of our money in Wynn Resorts. So we go to the XIV. I bought a position in on this today. I got pretty lucky on buying in this on today, is because this thing dipped all the way to around 119, and I was able to get on 119. I think it went lower than 119. Oh no, it stayed right there, 119. So I got it right there. I would say high 119s, and ever since then, it started to rise back up. And like I said, this is just because of market volatility. This follows the market indexes. Times is definitely amplified return. You see right here, S&P 500. So let's go to another one. I bought shares into Apple. And as you see right here, Apple is definitely getting oversold just about. It's in an oversold position. So we see Apple get to 164. Definitely a little worried about Apple. Shareholders are just a little bit worried about Apple. But at the same time, Cramer was telling everybody, when this goes to 163, what are you going to do? Are you going to buy more? Or are you going to keep selling? So as you see right here, Apple is getting to that oversold level. Buyers are starting to increase, but they're not doing it at a rapid rate as we're seeing all-time highs. But sellers are starting to increase at the same time. Buyers are stepping back in, trying to find a discount for Apple, or is trying to find a support level for Apple. But for right now, Apple might struggle a little bit, but that's just because it's going into earnings, and a lot of people, they know that the iPhone 10 didn't do really good, or that's their expectations for the iPhone 10, but they're only focused on the iPhone 10. So don't be surprised if Apple shares start to go higher, or maybe hit that all-time high of 180 and keep going higher. People are just looking for the iPhone 10 to not do good. They're not talking about the rest of the phones that iPhones does make, or the rest of the iPhones that Apple does make. So people were scared. That's why they talked this down from 180 all the way to 166. And this is pretty much the same thing like people were talking about when Apple was $90. People were giving Apple a sale. They're saying, okay, Apple should be at $80 here, and this and that. But at the same time, they were focused on the wrong thing. Apple is a growth stock. This is a growth name. You don't trade Apple. You invest in Apple for years to come, not for days to come. So don't be surprised when you see Apple report and Apple stock shoots up higher because of, I would say, unexpected iPhone growth in other areas rather than the iPhone 10. They're also going to talk about the Apple Watch as well. So you want to pay attention for those numbers in the report. So that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. We're going to be watching out for more market volatility. We check out the TVIX. I know they did go higher today. It's almost at $7. Yeah, just about $7. So pretty much the TVIX on a one-year level is at that over, or getting close to that overbought level. So it's kind of good news, because we go to the XIV, which I bought a position in. We see it's pretty much the inverse of that. And as we see that, it's pretty much oversold. We got one oversold, one overbought. We want to be in the one that's oversold rather than the one that's overbought, because the one that's oversold is going to give us more market opportunity for us to actually increase our profits and maximize our shareholder or maybe maximize our portfolio value, basically. But that's all I have for you guys today. If I see any market discounts, we're definitely going to talk about those. But those are just the two that stood out to me today. We had the XIV, which was definitely oversold, as we see right here, tripling your money if you're able to buy it way back in the day. And it was still overbought, way overbought. So the XIV, we had Apple pretty much getting to that oversold level. And as we see, every time Apple gets to that oversold level, kind of stays right there. It just explodes higher every single time. But like I said, I'm in Apple for a investment position, and then I'm in the XIV for just a trading opportunity. The trade sets up so well, it doesn't really matter how many shares you buy, you pull out ahead, a lot of money with this. But that's just how I see it with the XIV and the Apple, and then Wynn Resorts. Those were the ones that stood out to me because of the market discount. So if you're looking for market discount, couple already, forming in the market. But we see the momentum definitely pointing up. So this definitely does have a lot more room to run higher. So don't be surprised if this thing goes back up $200 or maybe, hits 180 sometime in the near future. Don't say I told you so, but at the same time, this had nothing to do with Wynn Resorts' bottom line. This was more focused on the CEO. So that's all I have for you guys. Take care. If you have any questions, comment below. But yeah, that's all I have. Take care.